Hey, what's up? This is Epilepsy Stories doing the Brain Loading Podcast. And we've got ourselves Voice of Scars on here, and we've got our girl Neuromo. And Neuromo, what's the subject gonna be today?
I don't know. I was gonna ask how y'all week was this week. How was it,
Mm,
guys?
Good, good. Week was pretty good. Uh, yeah, I didn't do much eventful. That it was a pretty chill week. I just went to a haunted house with the family just a minute
Ooh.
ago. It was nice, nice little.
Yeah.
So, Voice went to a haunted house this weekend with his family. What did you do, Nigel?
I didn't really do much. I did. I went to Kung Fu and did my thing down there. Broke some wrists. Um,
Painful.
and huh, yeah,
So,
those leverages that hurts. But I always know how to protect my head. Nobody hits me in the head. That's 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 all you gotta know how to do is protect your head.
Yeah.
Somebody can kick me in the gut, I don't care. I'm like, oh, okay, but if I see something coming from my head, I'm like, just bob and weave. Always bob and weave. Flow like water, man. Flow. But other than that, I didn't really have much anything eventful going on. Other than some other stuff uh that I got going on. But
mhm,
Good
yeah,
stuff.
nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, good
Let's see.
good stuff.
This week,
Decent stuff.
what did I do this week? Oh, as you guys know, my daughter's a competitive gymnast, so I'm at the gym pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Ellen
Mm.
Brian built us a cool dollhouse for our American Girl dolls. Shout out to American Girl.
Nice.
Um, and getting ready for my final exam, which is due on Wednesday. So
Heard that.
Mm.
that's pretty much, and getting ready for this podcast. Getting
Nice. Doing all the notes,
Yeah.
doing all the work. Um. Oh yeah. I also went to open mic yesterday. I forgot to say that.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, that's all.
okay.
Not the snaps for the fact that I
oh
went.
yeah, I did that last week.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
cool, cool.
I don't
We
think
had
that made
a
it to
nice
the edit
weekend.
though. This
What'd you
last
say?
week. So I don't think that this went into the edit last week.
Yeah.
I don't think it did. No,
No.
I don't think it did. No, that was a quick edit though. I didn't really put too much into it. I just wanted it to
I
be.
loved it though. Honestly, I think we had 3 hours of footage and he got it down to 15 minutes. So shout out to Voice for doing that.
Yeah.
Took a little minute, but he got it done.
Yeah.
I didn't know how it was going to turn
Oh,
out, all the clips. Um, yeah. Hopefully the Breakfast Club will see this because I tagged them on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
you
I
too.
did.
nice. Yeah, it was definitely dope. Look, what would we do without you? Love it. I love it. We just tag team. We all
Yeah.
come with something that is so necessary. Um, and we know what our roles is, but yeah, this is dope. Anyways, the topic of the day. What were we talking about today, then?
Oh, well, according to my sources, no, I'm just kidding. We are talking about kid versus adult epilepsy. We all had epilepsy as children, both me and boys at the age of 2, and epilepsy stories at 7. Like I said, we're all in the same age demographic, so we can speak on how it was as a kid versus now. And especially as a woman, I can say that, and that definitely changes things. And after you have children, it definitely changes things. So, yeah.
Pretty much,
Cool.
I'd grown up with genetic epilepsy, and so I have it. My cousins have it, and they're a little younger, so I'm always there for them. My cousin had another one of my cousins had a couple of seizures behind the wheel, which is
Mm.
terrible. Luckily, she's perfectly fine, and she's a lawyer now. I'm proud of her.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, my baby brother had it and then grew out of it. Um, and yeah, there's sadly there may be more to come. So, but I'll always be there for them, whether it be like my niece, cousins, anything like that, if they have questions, because I've gone through so much. But my first seizure, I was 7 years old, and it was around December. I have the date literally marked down on my phone, but my, me and my little brothers, we went to Red Lobster, and this was around Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas. Um, we went to Red Lobster. Suddenly, I convulse and have a seizure and this is back when not everybody had a cell phone. By the way, this is so luckily the people in the booth behind us, they had a cell phone. So they called 911, and I wake up uh, in the emergency room with an IV. I'll never forget just the sounds that were going around. It's like an emergency room. If you're laying down, it's nightmarish. The person next to me wound up passing away. Um, we had nurses running all over the place. It was scary. I was asking people questions. I'd gotten my first spinal tap and saw like a family friend crying in the corner, tearing up because of the pain that they had seen me endure. But all of that's kind of the norm now. I'm fine with like any sort of shot or surgery, anything like that. So when you're an adult, you get used to certain things. Life is totally different, which is you can see that in my book. Simon Has a Seizure, and you've gotta, like, my mom had to tell my entire class what to do if I have a seizure, and my fourth grade teacher only remembers me because I had a seizure on the playground a few times. And yeah, once you grow up, you start to be more independent and more like how we're doing, not afraid to talk about it. Let people know, because this is serious. Like your neurologist will tell you, yeah, take these meds, okay, try to combine these. Um, but hey, it's like I called myself a lab rat because it's insane. So finding the perfect medication the is still in progress. Um, but yeah, right now I'm still taking medication. So when I'm on here, if I ever look like drowsy or something like that, that's the reason why. That's
I think that's all of us.
yeah, that's all of us pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, we be like just dozing off. You be you be like, hey, Nigel, you there? You there? You there? Huh? What? That's that. Yeah. It's like you just witnessed a seizure, a female seizure right there. So you know this is real. Like it can happen anytime. So that's why we watch out for each other. You know,
Absolutely.
if we watch our cameras and watch the screen, make sure we're all good. So, and that's what I like about all of us and our friendship. You know, although I'm super far away from you guys, I'm still
We're only a flight
you.
away.
Yeah, how many hours of flight though?
4 hours. 4 hours from Atlanta.
Yeah,
I keep want to say Michigan because I'm from Michigan, but from Atlanta it's 4 hours to LA.
To LA from me would probably be more like 5. I mean, I'm not that far from you, but probably more like 5. 6 if I fly Spirit, which I would be flying if I flew down. Yo, even though Spirit, like, you know,
Nope,
if you,
never.
symbolically it sounds like why would I just ride Spirit airline? But yo, I ain't gonna lie, they be the cheapest. Like, you get there fast. The Granted, the pilot might be a little drunk, just a little bit,
Welcome
but
to Flight
it's
457, straight flight to Las Vegas. Y'all, unfortunately, we do not have a pilot for this flight, so we will be asking for volunteers. All you need is a valid driver's license and you are good to go. If at any certain point nobody wants to volunteer, we will be choosing a person at random. Also, you guys, both bathrooms are currently unavailable, but we did put Walmart trash bags under the seats, so if you have to go, they are there for your likings. At this time, we have locked all cabin doors, so no one's allowed out. Unfortunately, you guys, all the stewardesses are working from home virtually, so if you have any questions, please ask them right now, because when we get to 100 feet in the air, we will lose signal. Thank y'all for flying Spirit Airlines, and we would hope to see y'all in Vegas.
yeah. I'm until I get a little more money, like y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with Spirit. We've been making it. We've been getting there on.
You know what
but
though? When you think about it though, out of all the airlines, when you hear about the news, you don't hear about Spirit as much as the
You
major
don't.
ones. But
That's
you hear
true.
about like other little minor stuff, but major stuff you don't hear about. So
Yes, you
we'll give
really
it, we'll give it to
don't.
them.
Spirit it'd be up. Spirit. Um, Man, my story is long too. You're right. You do already know. Anyways, my story's long too, for real. Uh, I've had epilepsy since I was 2, so it is a lot. But I guess ultimately I'll start where Voice of Scars started, because like that didn't start at the age of 2. So like I said, I've dealt with a lot when it comes to epilepsy. Dealing with it from the age of 2 isn't easy on the brain or life, right? No one adjusts life when they find out you have epilepsy. No one knows what adjustments to make. There's no adjustments for that. So you just you make your own adjustments. So that's what I did in the first part of my life. I would say I made adjustments. I got to the point where I didn't let epilepsy stop me, right? I was hanging with the crowds. I was hanging with the wrong crowds, the wrong people, but it was the right people to me, because they was the people I wanted to hang with. I was hanging with them and, kind of living quote unquote normal life with epilepsy, right? And then that's when the story that creates Voice of Scars came about. When I was 12 years old, I was given too much medication for my age and weight, which I found out down the line. But I ended up getting allergic reaction called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. So it started as blisters on my tongue, and then it went all over my body from there, leaving me covered in bloody blisters. A lot of people may know, if not, on my Instagram, there is a the picture of me with blood all over my face, that's not for Halloween. That's not because I just wanted to get attention. That is unfortunately a remake of a reality of mine. That is a legit. It's fake blood on that picture, but that's a legit remake of what I looked like at the age of 12 from this medication. So that's where Voice of Scars starts. It starts with that story, and that's the reason behind all the scars and the bloody picture that you see is because it's been a lot. It's been a full journey, and epilepsy is just the beginning of it, right? Because with epilepsy doesn't just come the seizures. A lot of people think it just comes with the seizures. It comes with the aftermath. It comes with the acceptance, right? And not just other people's acceptance, but you accepting yourself, because that's a battle in itself. Knowing you have epilepsy, even as a kid growing up at 2 years old with it, knowing you have epilepsy and being okay with the fact you have epilepsy are two different things. So that's a battle in itself, being okay with the fact that you have epilepsy and giving yourself grace and the same mercy that you expect other people to give you when they hear that you have epilepsy. So I dealt with that, and then on top of that, you got a kid covered in bloody blisters. So of course it came with all the laughs, all the jokes. I was called a Dalmatian before, I think. Right? It came with all the. It's crazy because I don't remember nothing, right? But I still remember some of the names that I was called as a kid because I had these bloody blisters all over me. And as much as a kid, as much as I wish it didn't have to happen, and I wish I just wished it away. I wished I didn't have to deal with this. I didn't have to be different. There was moments where I didn't want to go to school. Like, not that I ever loved school the most anyways, but there was a point in time where it was so bad I didn't want to step foot in school. I didn't want to be in front of anybody. Because as much as people would talk about me and laugh at my skin, it is made so much worse when you not only believe what others say, but you say it to yourself, right? So I was, at that point in my life, I would say I was my biggest bully. As many times as I've got bullied for epilepsy and the scars, I was my biggest bully because I said some things that people wouldn't dare say to me. I said things that hurt me to the core. So ultimately, my story is a story of resilience. Honestly, it's a story of growth and pain. A lot of times we avoid pain, the pains of life, or we shy away from talking about them, but we don't realize the power that we hold in our most painful spots, right? And those painful stories, those stories that kind of make you turn away from looking someone in the eye because you don't even want to see their reaction to you telling the story. But those stories are the stories that change lives. So it's really important that we do dig deep. And I'm not going to say too much. That was a lot in itself, but I'm going to cut it kind of short because I don't want to be here all night. But ultimately, I just want to end this with, or in my story with, it's important to, even when you're going through pain, to realize that God is a master storyteller. He is a master writer. He's the best creative in the world. And he's creating a story with you. So don't be afraid of your story. Though it may hurt sometimes, it may be hard to deal with, hard to even talk to other people about it because you feel like no one really understands. But it's important to talk about it. More importantly, it's important to let it out. Even if that means crying sometimes, it's important to let it out and not let the fact that you have epilepsy or whatever you may have stop you from doing what you're meant to do, because your pain has crafted a story that people need to hear, and it needs to help people. But that's it. I was talking a lot. Appreciate y'all. We'll go deeper into more
No, that's good though.
later.
That's,
That's
I
good.
mean, I think everybody has a story, whether it's for epilepsy, whether it's going through something tough, divorce, parent dying, a loved one dying. You know, everybody has a story to tell, or getting through anything. As a matter of fact, my anniversary of meningitis was earlier this month. I forgot about it, so I just started thinking about it. In October of 1998, which would have, no, 1997, excuse me. So 28 years ago. Um, I was 2.5, and my mom was doing my hair, and I was really cranky, didn't want to get my hair done. If anybody knows me, I am not tender-headed. And that day I was just really cranky. I always say this when I preface my story. As a mom now, you know your kid. You know when you know your kids cry. You know when your kid is hurt, when they're tired, when they just want to be rebellious, you know. And so for my mom, she knew like this was just not a regular cranky toddler crying. Something was wrong. And she noticed the rash on my leg, which is a symptom of meningitis. Not all the time, but most of the time. And so like the next day she took me to the doctor. My pediatrician said, oh, she's fine. Send her home. Give her some medicine. She'll be all right. The way that I've been told this story, because of course I don't remember, my parents worked opposite shifts. So my dad was in the morning, my mom worked at night, or vice versa. But I was with my dad, and I was leaning on him, I was moaning, and I was starting to kind of go in and out of consciousness and seizures. Called my mom, and they sent me to the ER. By that time, I was full on convulsing, having seizures. They did spinal tap, and it was pneumococcal meningitis. Now, science lesson, because that's my neuroscience in me. What is meningitis? That is the swelling of your meningites in your brain. So the swelling of your brain on the lining of your brain. And there's viral, bacteria, and then there's fungal. I won't get into all of them, but bacteria is probably the deadliest. And a lot of people do not make it. If they do, they have a lot of disabilities. Some I've met that are amputees because of the septic shock. By the grace of God, I didn't have any limbs, but cut off. But I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and the doctors told my parents that if I were to make it, I would be severely handicapped, in a wheelchair, deaf, you name it, everything. And that's if I woke up. So, but I did. And sometimes if I'm tired, you'll see my left eye, get a little squinky. I think if you see in the last episode, my eye was a little closed, but that one stayed shut for a while, and then it kind of opened up on its own. But I had to go through physical therapy, occupational therapy, all that, learn how to walk again, everything, get potty trained again. I was potty trained at the time. However, I always say this too, 2-year-olds are a little bit more resilient than maybe if I was 12, 22, if I was a little bit older. So I was able to kind of bounce back a little quicker. I don't remember it, but my body does. And I say that, especially because I'm getting older. So growing up, let's fast forward a little bit, went to school, normal, have a younger sister who's 4 years younger than me, played, did everything, but I was very clumsy growing up, like, just would trip over nothing. I would, hit the door wrong because, just different things. And I didn't think nothing of it. And then puberty hit. And as I started growing, my left hip is kind of shorter than the right. So I would walk funny. And people would think like, what's wrong with her? And I couldn't really explain it like I can now as an adult. As a kid, it was just, I had meningitis. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know, some kind of brain disease. And I just kind of kept it pushing. But I never really understood the magnitude of it. And even at home, and my parents, okay. So, yeah, I would walk funny. Kids were kind of mean. Like, why are you walking funny? I couldn't explain what meningitis was because I myself didn't know really what it was, other than it was just this disease that I had when I was a kid, and that was that. Because that's what my parents really just kind of kept it at. And God healed you. You're a miracle. I was the miracle child, and that was pretty much that. And then when I got to 6th grade, I started having absent seizures, and they thought that I was boy crazy or that I wasn't paying attention, and which was not true. And found out I was starting to have absent seizures, and the doctor's like, "Oh, she'll grow out of it." So I never again thought about seizures. Didn't know what it was. Didn't really care to know because when I would have them, they would be so far out and spaced out. And then I remember about a year later, I had my first one at nighttime. Again, still don't really remember it because I was sleeping. But my parents were having a party outdoors. One of their friends went into the house to go to the bathroom, heard me seizing, and then they took me to the hospital. Again, they just kind of brushed it off as like, "Oh, you have meningitis. That's just a effect from it, just a symptom of it," and kind of brushed me off. Didn't put me on meds, nothing. And they were like, "Oh, she'll grow out of it." Finally, a couple more times that happened again. Same thing. They just brush it off, and I would forget about it. To be honest with you, I'd be like, okay, because I never really happened in the moment. It was always they were always in my sleep. I would wake up, go to school, like nothing really happened. I will say school was challenging. It was hard. Like I could study and still maybe get a C at best. And looking back on it, I probably should have had IEP or 504 plan, but it is what it is. And so then now we get to high school and my parents get divorced. You got boys, you got girls, me and Kathy, you got all this drama. And I finally have a seizure in front of the whole junior class during the ACTs. And that's a whole story within itself. But in that moment, I realized, oh snap, these seizures have come back to haunt me. Like, it had been 3 years, and now it's in front of everybody. So it was kind of embarrassing for a long time because I had people giving me the wrong attention. Just, especially teachers just hugging me. Like, it was just weird, giving the attention that you don't want. I'd rather have attention for something else than passing out and shaking in front of almost the whole entire junior class. And then that's when I kind of took advantage of it a little bit, but started to kind of really think about it more and like, okay, this meningitis thing was a little bit more serious than I thought. Now, fast forward a little bit more, I moved to Atlanta. I eloped to my husband now at 18, and at 19, he finally says to me, "I love you, but you keep having seizures in your sleep. We need to get you a neurologist." And I'm like, "Oh, they said I'm fine. I've been a neurologist in Michigan." He was like, "No, I love you too much. We need to get you, even if it's on the lowest dose of medicine." And I was like, okay. And I got to see my brain scans for the first time and saw all the brain damage I had from meningitis as a kid. Like, the left hemisphere is shorter than the right hemisphere, or vice versa. And it's crazy because I had a lot of scar tissue and things. That's where the seizures come from. And I was like, oh, okay. And now as an adult, now I have to really learn how to navigate as an adult with epilepsy, because now they're starting to get more frequent because I'm getting older. I'm in a new environment. I'm in a big city. I'm no longer at home. I'm newly married to, a man that I love, but we kind of in the beginning didn't really know. I mean, we're 18 and 19 years old. Come on, get it. Like, who does that? So it was stressful. Those first couple of years as an adult were stressful, and seizures were a little bit more frequent. Got on Keppra, and anybody know about the Keppra rage?
Mm-hmm.
It was nuts in the Willis household for a long time. I thank God for the patience of my husband, but he has type 1 diabetes. So put those two together, it was madness for a while. And then things started to kind of settle down, started to get used to it, go to work. I was getting used to being married, being in the Atlanta area, and then driving Now, Atlanta, you know that traffic is something. And for some odd reason, I never would want to drive. I would, but I didn't like to. It would give me such anxiety. And after a while, I just stopped because I felt like I couldn't, my depth perception was off. And I finally got that later on, came, like, they confirmed that I had, like, deficit in my depth perception and I shouldn't drive. So I'm glad that I, had that gut instinct not to, because they already drive crazy down here anyways. And then at 21, I got pregnant with my daughter, and I probably went around about that the wrong way. I actually have a webinar with the Epilepsy Foundation on that story, but just being pregnant and having epilepsy, I was on edge a lot. But I quit my job, basically was on bed rest and relaxed. She came out healthy, no issues there, but definitely had to get more medicine, take more supplements and things like that so that I wouldn't have a seizure during pregnancy. And but I didn't consult with my neurologist first. I just kind of happened. And when he told me, he was like, "Oh, really?" Because they told me to wait. I was so young. I was 21. And they're like, "You can wait. You have time." But and then eventually, as she started getting older, and I had to start thinking to myself, how am I going to explain this, like why mommy can't drive and things like that, and those questions are going to come up. And one day I just so happened to come across my medical records my mom gave me, and I really looked in detail and I had to Google some of these big words now that I know, because I know medical terminology now. But I was really messed up, and I think I just started crying. I was like, oh man, like, God, you really did save me from like dying. Like, it was bad. And I was okay, now how can I start to share awareness? What can I do? And that kind of gets into my story with how I got into the Karen Boyce Foundation and things. But then that's when I realized I wanted to go back to school and learn about the brain and be able to help other people understand their brain, whether they have epilepsy, whether they have bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever the case may be. I can help them. I'm not a medical doctor, but I can understand the brain a lot better now and understand my brain a lot better now because I went through something similar. And yeah, that's pretty much the shortened version, but there's more details. But yeah, and we're going to do an episode of our most memorable seizure one day. So
So, real quick, and then we'll try not to make this one too long. But before we get to going, I wanted to pose a question. What's the difference between having epilepsy and dealing with meningitis as a kid versus now 30?
more awake. Before, I could never feel a seizure coming on because they were always in my sleep. That was the biggest thing. As a child, I would go to sleep and then wake up with a headache, or my parents would tell me like, "Oh, you had a," or mostly my sister, my poor sister. Shout out to my sister, because we had to share a room at one point, and would have to wake up to me having a seizure. And I know that could be kind of scary. But now I'm more aware, and it's like, okay, I'm a little bored, a little tired. I need to slow it down. I'm a little stressed. I need to slow it down a bit. I know my triggers. Before, I didn't know what that was. And looking back, I can kind of like, okay, yep, I can pinpoint my parents going through divorce, most stressful time of my life. Moving to a new city, most stressful time of my life. Going through puberty when your brain is trying to change and develop, definitely stressful. And now I'm more aware, and I can feel it, or I can be like, okay, I need to stop stressing. Or if I'm going to stress, I'm going to stress in the private of my own home, because I don't want anything to happen in public. I think too, having a kid definitely gives you a different perspective, because you want to take care of yourself for them and your husband, my husband of course, but especially for my kid, I want to be able to see her graduate one day and have kids of her own, get married, go to college, all the things. Doesn't matter what order. But you definitely think about it more as an adult than you do as a kid. I can say for myself. Yeah.
What about you, Nigel?
Yeah, yeah. I think as a kid, you're not really sure. Um, for my first seizure, what maybe I had a very strong imagination and it was like 5 years old. I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I knew um what happens, like you go to school, then you go to another school, and then and move out, and then you go live your life, and you can drive a car, and all get your own house, get married, um and like when I was 7 and they told me all the things that I can't do, it really hurt me, because I was like, I was a kid, so I was like, oh, I want a 64 Impala. You can't find this thing at 64 Impala around here anymore. um, but I wanted to drive, and I knew what kind of girlfriend or wife that I wanted, and just all these different things just went down the drain. Because so now or I knew what job I wanted to do even.
What job did you
Um,
want to do?
I wanted my first job. I told the owner this. I said, for my first job when I'm 18, I want to work at the driving range, because I play golf all the time. Since I could stand, I've been holding a golf club as a kickstand, like, but yeah, learning about all the triggers was a definite letdown. Um, so I still do golf and stuff, but I'm not at that driving range right now. So when I'll probably try to ask if I can work there again.
What about you,
Uh,
Rob?
so
What about you? The same
Um,
question posed to you.
oh my goodness. So that what just happened to my brain? That is something I didn't. Maybe it's not that I didn't have to deal with it as much, but I didn't care as much. So I was just about to ask you what question. So stuff like that, right? As a kid, it may happen sometimes where I forget something, but as a kid, I think so. At 2, in at least up until like 10, 11, maybe, as a little boy, forgetting stuff is not a problem. Kind of normal, kind of preferred sometimes. But as an adult, 30 years old, forgetting stuff is painful. It's embarrassing, and it makes you feel like you don't care. But you do, but it makes you feel like you don't. Like, for instance, just now, literally, Nigel was telling his story, and at the end, when you said Rob, I was like, wait, what was the question again? I didn't say that out loud, but that's what my brain thought. Like, what was the question again? And I was the one that asked the question. So it's stuff like that. Like, as an adult, it's just much more. It's much more annoying, and it also is much more of a burden to just forget stuff that way and get distracted easy. But it does make you appreciate your journey though. Now at 30, as a kid, you know, I hated it. Like, I hated epilepsy as a kid. I hated the fact that I had to go through this. I hated everything about it. You know, I really had a bunch of negative thoughts about epilepsy, right? But now, as an adult, I could say I'm able to look more on both sides. I'm not just looking at all the bad things that epilepsy provided. I've been able to change it to some good things, right? So before, as a kid, I didn't have a platform. I wasn't talking to people about epilepsy. I wasn't helping anybody. I was just going through it. But as an adult, you realize experience can speak positive no matter what type of experience it is. So what I mean by that is, like, now I realize that oftentimes pain speaks more healing in someone than glory. Like, you know, someone can hear your story of how great your whole life was, and sure, they might for a second be like, oh, that's cool, but it's not gonna really inspire them. But inspiring is when you've heard somebody's pain, you heard what they went through, the painful things they've been through, and you know, you still see them standing and they're still moving. Like, to hear that the doctors told you could be in a wheelchair, and you're walking, you're moving perfectly fine. The doctors told me
too, I think I think it didn't really affect me as a kid because my mom didn't let it affect me. Like,
yeah,
she was really good at, you're going to ride a bike, you're going to get good grades, you're going to do, you know, like, God did not bring you out of this to leave you. So you're going to do everything. My dad, and he'll tell you, he was a little bit more on the cautious side. He will tell you he hated seeing you go through occupational therapy and things like that because they have to push you to your limit to see how far you can go. And of course, it looks like it's hurting you, but it's really trying to get you to go to your full potential. And even now, as an adult, I still have that same mindset because I'm like, okay, God did not leave me. But there are days, I won't sit there and lie. I mean, I kind of had a rough week this week where I kind of had a little bit of a moment, but brush yourself off and keep going. And I knew how to shoot this podcast this week, and I was like, okay, this definitely is one of those times where you just give God the glory and you keep pushing. You have to, you know. Yeah, and that's great, you know, for listening. We'll catch you guys next week. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, comment below, and we'll eventually do a Q&A, so keep those questions coming.
If you're watching this podcast, seizure free or not, you know, we're here for you. Hopefully we can do, you know, crazy sort of things, you know, whatever comes to mind, whatever you guys would like to see, we may take into consideration. And like and subscribe,
Nigel,
maybe even donate.
We gotta be careful with that. I don't know. People could come up with some crazy things, brother. We gotta be careful with that.
Oh yeah, okay.
You might be on your own.
That part I'm not sure. So
you might be on your own. They
Nigel can go and do the challenges. But we'll make him do the challenges.
They say run
and
down
then you
the
guys
street with drawers on singing happy birthday. Yeah, you got that.
Drink a whole liter of Sprite without burping.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
That has been it. I appreciate everyone for coming through. Thank you for being here with us as always. Yeah, this has been Great as always. We got in the building Noro Mo up top. I don't know who's on the if it's on everybody's
Mine's
screen
on
the
the
same,
bottom.
but Noro Mo up top. My boy Epilepsy Stories, Nigel right there in the middle, and me, Voice of Scars at the end. Thank y'all for coming through. Have a nice rest of your night.